I present to you one of the most influential people out of the 845, one of the most caring, loving people I've met, a positive energy to this world, and just an inspiration to the things that I do and I hope to become and accomplish. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Veg.
Yo, this is something serious.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AO Chill podcast. Y'all already know the business. To the right of me, to the left of your screen, is somebody that you've seen time and time again. By the time you see this podcast, I don't know how many Mad Mind shows he would have helped me hosted by then. But right. We're here in I always say the name of this town wrong, this city wrong. How do you say the name of this? Nanuet. I always say Nonet because I want the
you
all.
You know he's not from here, yo. You know he's not from here, man. Nonet? What?
Nonet, yeah. I was like Nanuet. All right, bet.
Rockland County, we here.
Rockland
845,
County,
man. Team 845 is we in the building. Stop playing.
So I'm gonna throw you a couple of questions.
Sure.
How'd you get the name Big Veg?
I'm a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Simple,
okay, bet.
Simple. I've been a vegetarian since I was born.
Yep, and I've heard you say that since you were born. Yes. What was the first piece of meat that you tried? That sounded wrong.
Turkey.
Turkey, right?
My mom. You know, shout out to my mama, Veg. I must have been 2-3 years old, and her, my grandmother, we always tell the story every Thanksgiving because it's so funny. Like I said, I must have been 2-3 years old, and my mom, you know, I guess asked, because I'm the only vegetarian in my family. Everybody else is a carnivore, so she asked for a piece of turkey to try, right? And she put it in my mouth. I spit it out. Bing. Didn't like it. I'm like, oh, okay. My mom's like, okay, pass the milk. You don't like the turkey, but then as you grow, your taste buds change. They grow with you, and you experience different tastes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hit like 7 or 8, I tried it again. I still didn't like it. I tried cheeseburgers. I didn't like those. I didn't like ribs. I didn't like steak. Chicken is okay, but but once if I'm gonna call myself Big Veg, like for me to eat meat will be very contradicting. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be contradicting to my reputation. Oh, you're a veg, but you eat like turkey. Like no, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't. So and plus it's a very healthy lifestyle that I'm planning to live to like the year 200 or something.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
so
200 years old, excuse me. So, yeah.
So when did you first like capitalize on that name?
I guess when I started my recording studio in 2002, I mean, when you hear the word veg, automatically people's eyebrows raise. Veg? What?
Mm-hmm.
Veg? I gotta go check this out. So automatically, I get people, like when I introduce myself, I say veg like vegetable. Automatically, I get a laugh, a chuckle, like vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to answer your question, yeah, I say 2002 is when I started my recording studio, my home recording studio out here to the public, recording and mixing local artists out here in the 845 in Rockland County.
So you started off as a sound engineer.
Correct. Sound engineer.
So what actually what caused you to get into the music scene? What caused you because to be a sound engineer at the time that you became a sound engineer is like somewhat like the golden era of sound engineering. But also from what I know from my sound engineering school, some of the hardest things to learn, because you had to learn things like manually. There wasn't it wasn't necessarily
that was like, I wouldn't say the beginning, but like maybe like somewhat of the midpoint of the digital age. Coming from analog to digital, obviously digital being a lot easier. The quality was good. Maybe like when I started, maybe like 10 years from when I started, MP3s just came out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the specific date, but how I got into sound engineering, I guess how I got into it is just, one day I was with one of my boys, and he was doing his music. Shout out to man Jay, and we were doing it in his crib, and we were doing it on a computer. It was just different, and it got to a point where it's like, unfortunately, like he didn't have any like set rules where his mom was kind of not digging it, and then I'm like, yo, let's see if I could move the equipment to my crib, and we could empty out a room and then turn that into a recording studio, and I asked my mama. My mama was cool with it, and we emptied out a part of my house, and we just turned it into a studio, and then I just really started to learn like the traits of being a sound engineer, how important it is, because, even to this day, like your sound engineer is the vital piece to how you sound and how you're supposed to sound, coming out of the lab. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I kind of got started, and I kind of just fell into it.
Yeah, of course. So then talk to me a little bit about those influences that got you into that. Like, what inspired you? Because the more and more, like, funny enough, I was looking at our podcast that we did, the first one that we did together at the Mad Minds, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Like, I have my style of like doing interviews.
Yes.
Your style of interviews, I feel like, is the definition of like what like hip hop interviews are like. And it's such a grandiose style. Like, what was your inspiration getting into it?
As far as media and doing interviews, my biggest inspiration is Big Tigger of Rap City.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? He's a big inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like I study him. I studied him, and I still study him to this day. From the era of when he was the host for, like I said, for Rap City. His energy. Obviously excluding the rapping because I don't rap. You know what I'm saying? But the way he asks questions, like you could tell he did his research, which is a big thing for me. Like I do my research, like how you do your research to certain artists and certain guests on your podcast, on your show. I make sure that I do my research. If you guys are tapped in, you hear ambulances on it. We are live. Okay, we are on the road. This is something serious, yo. Anyway. But yeah, Big Tigger is a big inspiration. Like I said, just the style, he's energetic, like he's just so cool, nonchalant, and once again, he did his research when it came to his guests. So Big Tigger, obviously the Breakfast Club, I study them as well. Shout out to Charlamagne the God. Being very bluntly truthful, and obviously, a lot of other people, but Big Tigger is my biggest inspiration when it comes to doing media and interviews.
So what were some of the other things that Big Veg was doing when he was little Veg? When he was little, like what were the things that you liked besides just like, hip hop, music, and interviews? I
mean, just living life, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up back and forth from the Bronx to over here in Rockland County. My grandmama Veg raised me. Shout out to my grandmama Veg. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is the reason why I'm such obviously the man who I am. I stand on my morals. On my, I use manners. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised very, like, what it is? I was raised by queens to be a king. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if I wasn't sneaking to listen to hip hop because my grandmother was very religious.
Really?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Very, religious Christian. So, we went to church every Sunday, and I'm not against that, shout out to the G.O.D., you know what I'm saying? Homie up, big homie up above. Reason why we woke up, reason why we're here. Bless the big homie up above.
Respect.
My grandmother wasn't really into the hip hop thing, especially in the 90s, where gangster rap started to take over. There's a lot of things that she didn't like about hip hop. So I had, every time she went to sleep, I would pull out my Walkman. Yes, I'm showing my age right now. My Walkman, you know what I'm saying? My Walkman to, listen to a tape that one of my homies gave to me to borrow the day before, to listen to before I actually went to sleep. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, to answer your question, man, just living life, man. When I was little Big Veg, I guess we can say, a young vegeling.
A young vegeling, yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was just living my life, man. Those are the times where, I kind of just experienced being a kid, man. And I loved it. I love being a kid, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I gotta ask you, and we gotta we gotta ask you about the medallions, yo.
And today I'm off, so I'm not wearing all of them. I'm only wearing two, wearing my Big Veg one and my Peace medallion. So, but go ahead.
Can you talk to me how that got started? Because I remember you told me once, you're like, nah, to put these on, you gotta earn them.
Yes.
And that's something that always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the origins of it.
The medallions. Well, once again, I'm a big 90s head. I'm a big golden era head. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm walking, it's so funny you ask this because, if you walk around carrying medallions, like you gotta be like a hip hop historian. Like you gotta know your hip hop, right? Recently, I was at a showcase, right? And this queen, she calls herself the Joe Fairy. And she's like, she's walking around, she's hosting a show, and she brought up the question, who knows their hip hop? Who knows the 5 elements of hip hop, right? And then she walks over to me and puts the mic in my face, and I look at her, I'm like, okay, b-boying, DJing, MCing, graffiti and knowledge, or beatboxing, you know what I'm saying? She looked at me. Okay, you know your joint, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to know your hip hop to wear African medallions, because if you wear these medallions every day, then you're walking around as a hip hop dude, you know what I'm saying? A hip hop guy. And then on another note, it's just my style. Like, nobody's wearing these medallions. Like, you walk into a spot, you're going to see brothers wearing, chains. You're going to see the drip and, nothing against that. But you see me, I'm the alien in the room, dog.
Yeah.
I'm the only one wearing these medallions. People, I'm just known. You know what? You look into a room and Veg, you can spot me from a mile away. Or if you don't know me, I look interesting to walk up to talk to. Who are you? I need to talk to you, brother. You look really cool. You know what I'm saying? Let me tap into who you are. Oh, Veg like vegetable? But yeah, man, that's just the thing, man. And I hold that, I hold that pridely to my heart when I wear these medallions. Like, it represents hip hop. It represents me as a hip hop historian, as a hip hop dude that just represents the culture of hip hop. We're talking about the culture of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes,
So where do you actually even get them made, or where do you buy them from? Do you make them yourself? Do you have a medallion maker?
I actually have I guess you could say, an Afrocentric jeweler.
Sick.
Shout out to my guy, man, in Cali, man. You know what I'm saying? The Last Man. He's actually part of the Zulu Nation. The Zulu Union. If you guys don't know about the Zulu Nation, it's a hip hop collective and hip hop organization that started the whole culture of hip hop in the early 70s. You know what I'm saying? One of the pillars of the first family of hip hop. And he is in the groove of making medallions. He makes medallions for all Zulu members. And every time he actually made this Big Veg medallion for me for my birthday a couple years ago. And obviously, I wear that religiously. It's one of the medallions that I wear. So when people say, "Oh, what's your name?" My name is Big Veg. V-E-G-G, 2 G's, not 1 G. But yeah. Shout out to the Last Man out there in Cali. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. That's my brother. Actually, I'm actually glad you brought him up. I gotta check on him. So if you want him down, hit me up. We can make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So
I have another question about the medallions. Real quick.
Go, X.
When you started wearing them,
yeah,
they are very different. Did you ever get any pushback or anybody who I guess, for a lack of better words, talk shit about you wearing them, or
No. I mean, the first thing they see is a peace medallion or the peace symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically they're like, okay, let me approach this brother with peace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And or they would see before I met my queen and gave her my heart medallion, I had my heart medallion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they saw peace and love. Automatically they come with peace and love. Like set the tone right there. Like, okay, when I approach Big Veg, it's nothing but peace. So to answer your question, nah, no one has really. I haven't had any lack with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been nothing but love. You know what I'm saying?
And how many would you say you have up to date?
It would have to be maybe 19 or 20. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 more, but the most 19. or 20, the least 16, 17.
And do you have a favorite one?
Can I give you top 3?
Yeah, you can give me top 3.
My Big Veg medallion, of course. Wu-Tang medallion, because, Wu-Tang's for the children. Wu-Tang nothing to F with. And my third last one. I said Big Veg, Wu-Tang. Oh, and my turtle medallion. I have a turtle medallion. It's the Hanu turtle, the Hawaiian turtle, which represents like truth. It represents love. It represents like watching over people. Which is I'm a great mentor when it comes to my turtles, my turtlettes. What I'm saying, those are the people that I call my proteges. Because I'm like their master splinter. I'm on that 90s shit. Teen, if you know the 90s, you came up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where 4 turtles were raised by a rat. I'm not a rat, but I'm just saying. As far as the terminology of Master Splinter, the sensei. So I got my own turtles and turtlettes where I watch over, and the Hanu turtle medallion, my Big Veg medallion, and my Wu-Tang medallion, because Wu-Tang is for the children.
So we're here near our destination.
Nyack.
Yes. We're going to stop by this place that I know real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll be right back.
Cool. Yeah. After these messages.
All right. Going to be a first for the podcast. We're going mobile.
Mobile.
And also, we're going to head to this restaurant real quick. I wanted to come here because I looked it up before. And then obviously, I asked your name before. I was like, all right, Big Veg, right?
Yeah.
And that is because you are?
Vegetarian.
Exactly. And so, we're here at the Vegetarian spot. What you think of it?
I think it's dope, man. Yo, listen, I'm biased. 845 is the greatest. Respectfully.
So there's not too many people that you find that are like super proud of where they come from.
Yeah.
And that is something that you express genuinely and also just fervorously every time you speak. On every interview, you're always like 845, 845, 845. Yeah. Where does that love for 845 come from?
I mean, it's just, it's simple because like, if you're from Jersey, you're going to, shout out to Jersey, you know what I'm saying? If you're from Queens, Queens get the money, you know what I'm saying? You're from Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Like, wherever you're from, you're going to represent. So I'm from Rockland County, 845, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to represent that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is. Like, if, you're going to represent your the way you grew up, you know what I mean? So that's just how that goes, you know what I'm saying?
What are the things that make 845 so special or near and dear to your heart?
I think that because, we're not part of the boroughs or, we're always slept on, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're always thought about last, or we're not really that known. So that's the only reason why I scream it loud, because, people are like, 845, where is that? Where is that 845? Is that upstate or da-da-da? Like, but what makes 845 so great is just like, I would say the talent out here. There's a lot of talent out here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going out here. There's great dope spots. You know what I'm saying? I say, like right now we're in Nyack. And we just stand out because we're always slept on, but we're still dope. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you get your ability to be so yourself and unapologetically yourself to the world without caring about other people's judgment? Because it's something like that even like I see in your videos when you were a lot younger, and like I have trouble sometimes even being myself or thinking twice when I post something up. What is your advice to people who like me who struggle with that at times?
I think, obviously, unfortunately, we live in a world where people judge you and you think about first impression and you overthink things, especially in our profession as, content creators, hosts, podcasters, and what have you. But I think it's just, not really caring what people think, you know what I'm saying, and just putting it out, bro. I mean, the worst people could say is they don't like it or whatever, but at the end of the day, at least you put it out and you put it out to the world, you know what I'm saying? For yourself, for your own self, self-conscious and self-esteem, you know what I'm saying? So, just put it out there, and you're gonna you know what it is? You're gonna have people that are gonna like it. You're gonna have people that not gonna like it. Everybody has their opinion, but at the end of the day, just do you and do it for you. You know what I'm saying?
So let's bring it back a little bit to when Vegg was mainly a sound engineer. Rock Runner Radio.
Yes.
When you started off at Rock Runner Radio, you were mainly just the sound engineer, making sure that all the mics were plugged in, making sure that everything sounded right.
Yeah.
And then your co-host at the time, whose name was?
Precise.
He had to take a leave of absence, and he looked at you and he was like, hey, I need you to keep running this so it stays on top and, it stays relevant.
Stays going.
What was going through your mind when you were given that opportunity? And it seems like it was going to be the first time you ever really got into hosting, or maybe was it the first time you got into hosting? And what was going through your mind?
Well, yeah, because, shout out to my boy Precise. If you guys don't know, I started a radio show with him in 2012 called the Rock Runner Radio Show. To be respectfully, we kind of was podcasting before podcasting was a thing, So, but like you said, maybe like a year in, he had to take a leave of absence, and he told me, "Yo, Veg, you gotta keep this going." And that means I had to take control. I had to become the main host. I had to, on top of me being a sound engineer, on top of me putting the show together. Like, it's a lot. Kind of like how you do when you put the show together, you edit the show, you do one-man band type of situation. So what was going through my mind is like I was just ready to go, bro. I was just ready to ride, And was that my first time really hosting? Yes, that's my first time stepping into that realm. And I could say that that was the best thing I've done, because obviously now, 10 plus years later, like I'm doing my thing. I'm hosting. I'm out here. I'm on the AO Show podcast. Two O's though.
Mm-hmm. Two O's.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing.
So during that run at Rock Radio, how long did it last? And then also, what ended up being it coming towards its end?
2012 to 2016. That's 4 years.
4 years. It was a great run.
4 years. Around 2015 is when I picked up a camera, because at the time YouTube was in its baby stages. And at the time, you could post anything on there. You could post fights. You could post anything. Like you would post something with a Dre record, and you wouldn't get, it wasn't as strict as it is now. And I'm not saying to post up fights. I'm not condoning that. So don't use this clip to kill me later, okay? You know what I mean? For your situation, I'm saying. But around 2015 is when I started to shoot and started to get a camera and started shooting different segments for Rock Runner Radio. And it just got to a point where I wanted to move on from that and kind of do my thing on camera. I started to do mixers in 2016 at the last year, and I was doing a networking mixer where I was just shooting. And, I was talking to, I guess, a personality, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got a radio show. I just started shooting, da-da-da. He's like, all right, cool, let's do an interview. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll book you. No, let's do an interview right now on your camera. Literally, if I was a cartoon character, light bulb would have came, ding, light bulb would have came on, like, oh, I could do interviews on my camera. So at the time, I didn't have a tripod. One of my homies held the camera, and we did an interview on camera. That was my first one, and then I just realized I could do interviews on camera. And that's when I started to venture into that aspect. And then from Rock Runner Radio to, Rock Runner Press, I guess that was the transition, what I'm saying, where I started doing interviews on camera interviews. Yeah.
So things have changed in the media space so much. And I feel like things in the media space change every
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's really what it feels like now. So what are some of the biggest differences that you had back then running Rock Runner comparative to how you would run something like that today?
I think that it's a lot easier now. Technology, of course, made things a lot easier for everybody to do their podcast. You're doing it out of your mobile, right? Mm-hmm. In 2012 and 2016, if someone would have, it's funny, I told my girl this earlier, if someone would have told me that we would be doing a mobile podcast in their car, I would be like, yeah, okay. And I'm not one to doubt, but it's like, come on, how is that even possible? Like, back then, I had to connect wires and I had to get on my Doc Brown groove and really make things work with my recording studio. Luckily, I had a recording studio where, Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. No, you good. You're serving us. You know what I'm saying? Where are we? Oh. Bari, right?
Bari.
I want to make sure we shout out the spot. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
Hold on, y'all. This is real.
Bari.
We're here at Bari out here in Nyack. Shout out to them. Once again, I'm biased. 845, we got the best restaurants. We got the best spots to come out here to eat. This brothers came through and gave us the food. We
vegetarian too.
Yo, we about to grub healthy today. Something serious. All right, but yeah, to finish my point from your question, just technology. You know what I'm saying? Things are a lot easier where you can have a mobile camera and mobile microphone and Bluetooth. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, like you had like wires is everywhere. Is once again, I had Doc Brown scientist type of groove. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, and then of course everybody's able to do it now. There can't be a chosen few. You didn't have to come from a certain profession of technical expertise to do it. You know what I'm saying? You could get a portable camera, get a Bluetooth mic, and boom, you are a host. You know what I'm saying? There's pros and cons about that, but that's the thing that's different from back then and now. So.
Well, we got our food. Let's get back to the car and head to our next location, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Let's do it. Ayo Chill Podcast. Stop playing. Tap in.
What is up, guys? Nothing cute, nothing crazy. I just want to tell you that I have so much content low-key that I just haven't posted up from years ago. And I'm going to start, putting stuff out. I have podcasts that are behind. I have other projects that are behind that I just never got to. And the best way you could support me and everything I do, the artists that I support and the events I support, comment, subscribe. I'm only going to tell you this once. I'm just going to know you guys once, just this once. And peace and love. Ayo Chill is the only podcast in Jersey which goals are to uplift the community, culture, and music in New Jersey through art. So if you believe in any of that, if you love New Jersey, if you're a part of the music community, art community, just in general, anything that has to do with supporting Jersey, definitely leave a like and comment on this video. So I appreciate y'all. Now back to Big Veg.
All right, guys.
Let's ride.
Welcome back.
Wait. We press record.
Yeah, we're recording, baby.
Press record?
Yeah, we
recorded.
We're recording.
Okay, I'm making sure.
We in there.
All right, we in there. All right, cool.
We are at
Good Roots. Have a straw. This is actually the town I grew up in. Have a straw. That's also the reason why I wanted to come. I grew up literally right around the corner, 25 Coolidge Street. It's where I had my studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? SNS Pro Sound Studios. This is the town I started. That's why I wanted to come here.
So then talk to me where we had left off. We were last talking about...
Right.
Well, I think we have a food review somewhere in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, we definitely did, yo. Shout out to the Bari.
Shout out Bari.
Yeah.
When we were in Bari, we were last talking about your tenure at Rock Runner. So, and we're talking about towards the end of it.
Yes.
So what ended up being, why did Rock Runner, the radio station, stop?
Kind of like what I said, man. I wanted to transition into something new. The year prior to me stopping the radio show, I picked up a camera. And like I said, YouTube was in its early stages, so, you could post up anything, you could do your thing. And I started recording different segments from the radio show, but then I started acquiring a love for shooting, for photography, for videography. And then, like I said, I was at a networking mixer, and someone said, they asked me to do an interview. I'm like, okay, I'll book you for my radio show. No, we could do one right now with your camera. And literally, like I told you, if I was a cartoon, light bulb would have came on, like poof, big ding, like, you know what I'm saying? And we did an interview with my camera, you know what I'm saying, on camera, you know what I mean? But that, obviously, that process was a long process, learning, being on camera, like, holding the microphone and making sure that, everything sounds good, everything looks good, like, like that whole process. Like, I didn't go to school for photography and videography. I went to the school of hard knocks, like straight off the streets and just learning by experience, right? So, but yeah, that was a transition from the radio show to now being on camera. Yeah.
So somewhere in between here,
right?
I'm not exactly sure of the timeline, but so when you transitioned, was this around the time where that infamous story of you leaving your camera at the 7-Eleven?
That was 2016.
Okay.
I lost my camera a year later, 2017.
Okay, and then you losing your camera, which if you want to see the full story,
Yeah.
I'll also post up the podcast that you were on before where they did an interview with you.
Absolutely.
Also, I don't know if Dev, you're ever going to post up that podcast for real that you did with Vegg.
Hey,
but,
yeah, right, Dev. You got to put that out, bro.
But if you did, you could also check it out on that story on that podcast.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
long story short,
Yeah.
you lost your camera.
Yeah,
The universe blesses you with 2 new cameras,
Yeah,
which
man.
ends up getting you more gigs to
More
get
gigs.
2 angle shot.
Yeah,
gigs.
yeah. I mean, long story short, left my camera in a 7-Eleven, going back upstate, forgot I left it there, realized that it was there, too late, 30 minutes passed, I was at the Port Authority, ran back, gone, right? Didn't complain about it, whatever, went home. You know, past gig didn't pay me. They paid me, they overnighted me the check, got the check, put it in the bank, you know, put in an order for a new camera. This was around Black Friday, the Black Friday season, so deals was going on and all that. So, so I put in the order, put in for rush delivery because I had a couple extra dollars, and then I didn't get it. I didn't get my order in the time it said it was supposed to. Called the company like, yo, what's up? Yo, we'll have it. Back order, Black Friday, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. All right, 2 days, fine. 2 days goes by, still don't get my order. I call them back, talk to the manager, say, yo, I need my package because I need it. Told my situation. So you'll have it in the next day or two. I'm looking at your package right now. Cool. 2 days later, get the package I was supposed to get, back in the game. And then literally 2 days after that, I got another package that came. And I'm thinking that package is for my mom because I didn't order anything else. I'm like, I look at the package, it says my name. So I'm like, okay, let me bring it inside, right? Open the package. It's the same package sent to me by mistake. You know what I'm saying? And then I had 2 cameras now. And it's crazy. After that situation, like you said, I had a chance to, I got hired to do 2 angle jobs. I worked at Power 105 where.
So talk to me. So I need to hear that. So Power 105, one of the most popular, if not the most popular radio show.
That's right.
In all of the East Coast.
Yeah.
One of the top radio shows in the world.
That's right.
How did you get hooked up there to do anything?
It's just the grind, man. You know, I was back when I got my cameras, I was back in the game. I was doing like events. Shout out to my people's gym and Diamond of GGMG. I was working with a brother. His name is M-Easy. He was doing the interviews there. And, I told him, hey, listen, if you need a camera guy, let me know, to do, because he does his stuff at Power 105, like all the video stuff. And if you ever needed somebody to come up, like, you'll let me know, you know what I'm saying? And I got the call, perfect timing too. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, like all the stuff that happened prior, and I was just ready. I was hungry. That's one thing too. I'm hungry. Like, I'm ready to go, right? So I got the call. And I went up there, I showed him proof, it looked good, and I was there, but I was there like every weekend, you know what I'm saying?
So you get these first couple gigs, and what were these 2 angles mostly? Because it was for a show, right, that he had?
Yeah.
His own personal show that he was doing?
Yeah. It's called a sit-down, angle on him, angle on his guest.
So during this time, what are you learning as you're doing this? Like, what are you picking up? Because I'm sure that you're there, and I feel like most people would be, they'd be a little bit geeked out, like when they first get there, right? Mm-hmm. What were like the biggest things that you took from your time there, and what was kind of like the big things that were happening during that time, during your tenure there?
Well, first of all, just walking into the building, like, no one just walks into Power 105. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, nobody walks in, like, there's a whole process, right? And then obviously seeing who comes up, like the celebrities, and that's the cool thing, you know what I'm saying? I will have to say there was one time I was sitting in I think in the corner, just chilling, like soaking in all this energy. A brother by the name of DJ Sus1, he's one of the correspondents, one of the media personalities that works at Power 105, and I was just chilling, like I wasn't doing anything, and he looked at me. I had all my medallions on, my fedora, like, yo, who is this guy? Like, oh, he's one of the brothers that's interning. He's taking care of camera work and whatever. Like, yo, my man got the medallions. Like, he's looking fresh. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? It's just, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just soaking it in. You know what I'm saying? Like that I definitely remember that, because obviously once again I stand out, right? I'm in a room. I'm gonna stand out. Whether it be my medallions, whether it be my fedora, my energy, if I'm not saying nothing, you're going to notice me some way, somehow, because of my medallions or how I'm looking, my image, right? Other than that, man, I mean, I think the biggest thing of what I learned is just like taking what I learned during the time I was down when my camera got taken. Like, because obviously during that time, I got a chance to really, really study how to be a camera operator, like shutter speed, ISO, aperture, angles, different lenses, you know what I'm saying, different millimeters with every lens. Like, I got a chance to really study that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously when I got my camera stuff back, then I could put all that I learned into play, right? Yeah, so, and that's the biggest thing. And of course, you know, watching people do their thing, like interviewing or whatever, you know, I'm always studying and I'm always picking up traits where I could use for my own style, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What were some of the favorite memories that you had working at Power 105?
I think the favorite memories is obviously like the Sus One situation where he noticed me, like I'm chilling, like I'm not saying nothing. Yo, my man got the baton. Like, oh, now everybody's looking at me like, oh. And I think just, you know, I think all the celebrities that came up just really took a liking to me because of my energy and good energy. I'm always like, you know, I remember this brother by the name of Charlamagne. He's a dope hip hop artist that came up and he kind of kept on like messing up because he had to do a freestyle, so he kind of kept on messing up. And I was just there like cheering him on, like, yo, bro, this is the one. This is gonna be the one. You gonna kill it, bro. Like, he's like, word. He's like, yeah, you go, bro. Watch. You gonna go in. So literally in that time, like, he killed it. And then when he got off of that freestyle, he's like, yo, Veg, man, I appreciate you cheering me up and rooting me on. Like, bro, that's what you need, that energy. So that was a dope moment. And it's just the vibe, man. Just being there and just soaking up the energy, the knowledge. You know, once again, I'm hungry. I'm on the come up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm surrounded by people that are in positions that I want to be at sooner or later in my career. If not at a radio station, just as a correspondent, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, you know.
So if I could ask, what ended up being the closing section of that chapter of your life?
From there, I went into doing my own hosting for an outlet from Jersey, Patterson.
Word.
Patterson.
Word. That's my hometown.
I call Patterson my second home, and I tell you why. After Power 105, I went to do, like I said, hosting. I got picked up by an outlet called Music Monday Videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outlet that was put together and executive produced by a brother by the name of Damon Emile.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, he's also coming out of Patterson, New Jersey. He started his platform in 2014, I believe. Don't hold me to that. I think 2014, 2015. I got picked up in 2018. At the time, I was still honing in on my skills as a host. So, and a lot of people don't know. I came up younger in my younger years. I came up having like somewhat of a stuttering problem. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, due to this is something that you know, speech. You're talking all the time. Like, the more you do it, the more better you get, right? So yeah, I got picked up, Music Money Videos, 2018, and I started hosting for his platform in Jersey. So every time, all right, so I'm gonna tell the scenario, right? He's in Patterson, New Jersey. I'm in Rockland County, right? I'm taking a train. I'm taking 2 trains. One train to Secaucus, transferring from Secaucus to Patterson. I'm taking a 2-3 hour rides to Patterson to chase my dream as a host. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a wild statement.
But people complain like they're in the boroughs, they can't get to the Queens, they can't get to the Bronx. Like, nah, like, if you love what you do and you want it and you're hungry, you're gonna go for it. There should be no obstacles. I'm talking about going there from like 10 a.m. doing nothing but interviews all the way till the nighttime, yo. Like, and through Music Money Videos, I had a chance to interview people like Rakim, the R&B group Allure. I had a, you know, I got a chance to do the first Rock the Bells festival. So I had a chance to interview like Large Professor, Ed Lover, you know, Onyx, you know, so many dope hip hop, you know, legends. You know, on top of that, I got a chance to interview like the president of Rock the Bells. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Prayer, who I don't know if he's still signed, but if he's not signed, was signed to Busta Rhymes, the conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then on another note, like, I got a chance to really hone in on my skills as a host and become better at hosting. So, You know?
So at this point in your career where you're going to Patterson, which actually I had no clue about. I don't know how that didn't come up when I was looking up stuff because I was born in Patterson.
And I but this was destined for us to talk to because of that. But go ahead.
And it's like
it's fate.
Patterson holds a really, really like big part of my heart.
Close to your heart.
Yeah, it's really close to my heart because I have a love for that city too.
Patterson is my second home, and that's why, because it, doing Music Money Videos to help me with my career. So, but go ahead.
What were you thinking at this point of like what you were going to do? Because I feel one of the biggest things that I don't want to say kids my age because I don't feel I'm not too much of a kid, but
right.
But people around my age or even people who are starting out 18 to their 20s, they're having such a deep identity crisis.
Yeah.
And it's coming up with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
What were your goals at that time? Did you know exactly what you wanted to do, or were you working towards that? Like, what was going through your mind at that time?
I mean, just chasing the dream. Chasing the dream, bro. Like I wanted to be in front of the camera. I wanted to host. I wanted to get these stories. I wanted to be, I don't want to say seen or like quote unquote famous, but I wanted to achieve my goal of being a host. You know what I'm saying? Through Music Money Videos, I had a chance to interview Ralph McDaniels, which is the godfather of what we're doing. He created Video Music Box. You know what I'm saying? 40 plus years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the godfather of doing the interviews and then doing the videos and on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but to answer your question, bro, like I necessarily didn't know where I was going, but I knew it was good because I was chasing my dream. It felt right. And when it feels right, it has to be right. When it doesn't feel right, something is wrong and you should step away. And it just felt right, bro. Like, it didn't matter how far away I was. It didn't matter what time I had to be there. Like, I'm one to be on time. Like when you tell me, yo, Veg, be here 2, I'm there 1:30, 1:45. That's just how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. You know what I'm saying? I take my craft very seriously. You know what I'm saying? So,
Did you ever have any moments where you really doubted yourself or felt like you wanted to quit or stop doing what you loved?
I mean, yeah. When calls stop coming in, when things get slow, because on top of me being a host, I'm a videographer. So sometimes, I have a fast period. Sometimes it's dry. Me and Devin, shout out to my boy AK40 Devin. Like, me and him go through these seasons every now and then. But when calls stop calling, it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for a while, I was getting booked. I was booked, busy, and blessed. I'm still blessed, but still not getting booked. I'm not busy. I'm like, but things like, I was talking to my homegirl Sammy B yesterday because I was on her IG live, and sometimes you gotta struggle, man. You gotta go through the hurdles, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that keeps you, that gives you backbone. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, you cannot succeed without struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no success without struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to earn your stripes. You want to earn your worth. So, you're gonna go through your hurdles, man. Like, as humans, that's what we have to just deal with and just do it, bro. And just you know what it is too? Like, things could be worse, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you trip, you fall, you get up. You don't stay down. You get up. You get hurt, you're gonna heal. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the worst type of, situation. Like, things could be so much worse, bro.
What would you say was the biggest obstacle throughout your career that you could remember?
Conquering me stuttering. Like I told you, I grew up having a stuttering problem, like to the point where, like, in my younger vegetable years, I didn't want the teacher to call on me to read like a paragraph because I knew I would stutter, and then people, kids would laugh, and whatever. So it's like, but through that, I acquired the art of hosting, and through hosting, like, once again, speech. The more you do something, the more better you get. It's like if you want to practice riding a bike, right? You got to ride it every day. The more every day you ride the bike, you get better and better, right? Sooner or later, you're going to take the wheels off, the training wheels off, and then you're going to have to learn how to ride the bike without the training wheels, right? But this takes time, right? Overcoming my stuttering problem, you know what I mean? Or making it seem like it's natural. Now I feel like when I stutter, it's natural. Like when I'm talking to you in a sentence, I'm talking to you like that. Like like right now, I just stuttered, right? I might trip over my words here and there, but it's just like back in the day, it was just crazy, bro. So my biggest obstacle is just overcoming my stuttering problem, you know?
So how did you overcome it, and what advice would you give people that are trying to overcome the same type of situation?
I think reading could help, because obviously your vocabulary, knowing knowing what to say. But I'm from New York, so we're known to talk very fast. You know what I'm saying? So the faster you talk, you trip over your words. But I think doing a lot of speech, things that involve speech, talking, that helped me. Like this whole hosting thing made me a better talker, better with speech, right? Like I said, reading to increase your vocabulary, so you know what you're saying. You know the proper words you want to say before you say it, and then just doing a lot of things that involve speech and talking.
So we've talked a lot about your career and everything like that, and everything up into like I think towards the end of Power 105. What time period of your life was this for you?
I was there for 6-7 months. 2018. I started there in the beginning of that year, January, and I left in that summer, June, July.
And the years that you were in Patterson, how long were you working with this new guy with his show?
From 2018, I want to say to maybe last year.
Word.
4 or 5 years.
So I think throughout this period, I wanted to ask you, how would you balance work and life? Because I imagine that, like, you're basically a freelancer.
Yes.
And working a long time as a freelancer, and me just accepting the fact that my life right now is freelance.
That's what it is, yes.
How do you balance life and work, and especially when life hits you with some of the hardest things?
Yo, it's crazy, man. When you're your own secretary, your own booking agent, your own videographer, your own editor, the one-man band, like it could get hard, because you don't know, especially when life starts lifing. Like, you gotta just choose what once again, you gotta choose what feels right. Everything's a feeling, bro. If it feels right, you go towards that, I'm gonna just say it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just how it is. Like, if it feels right, it just feels right, and you have to do that. Even if you have to sacrifice something that may potentially hurt you, but in the long run, it'll be better for you. So I'll just keep it at that,
How did the pandemic affect the things that you did now that we're moving into that area?
The pandemic. Well, the pandemic, obviously things shut down. It's so funny. It's so funny because I remember the day before the mayor shut down the whole New York. I was coming from. Damn, I forgot. I also started working with my man Mike Muse at Sirius XM, shooting his show on Sirius XM called the Mike Muse Show. So I was working there for a couple months too, and then the day prior to the mayor shutting down New York, I was leaving Sirius XM. And it's funny because I was on the phone with Devin. I think I was gonna buy like a lens off him. Obviously, after the pandemic, he didn't because he started taking videography serious. But Yeah. So okay. So I'm coming home from Sirius XM, and then the mayor hits it like, "Yo, shutting down. Everybody stays inside. You guys gotta chill out." Hey yo, chill. Hey yo, chill. Yeah. So I wasn't getting a lot of calls once again, but I had money, so that's a good thing. Like I was actually about to spend money on like a lens or something, but obviously I took that to buy food and keep myself grooving. But that was a crazy time, bro. I mean, back to your point, you asked the question, how did it affect me? It affected me, obviously slowed me down. It slowed everybody down. We kind of had to just ride through it and, just had to ride through it. You know what I'm saying? Just get through it, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way,
I got an interesting question.
Go.
When I first met you, there was like this weird person connected to you. We said his name a couple of times on this podcast already.
We have
AK-40 Devin.
my man.
I gotta know, dude. How did you and AK-40 Devin meet up and start your guys' friendship?
AK-40 Devin. When I ran my studio, I was one of the first studios he recorded at. When I say I'm his day one, like that is like, people say that shit just to be cool. Like I say that shit for real. Like he started with me. He came to my studio. I was like, I started his. I was the one he started with when it came to his recording career as an artist. Because people don't know. Check him out. AK-40 Devin official on Instagram. AK-40 Devin. Soundsick Productions. Yo, I walked into this man's car not knowing he was gonna wear the black version of what I'm wearing. Crazy, right? Anyway, we're talking about AK-40 Devin, right? So he started with my studio. As far as him being an artist, right? And then I created a artist development program where I was doing it out of the library, where I was teaching artists the ins and outs and the basics about the music industry, the music business, the recording, publishing, mastering, copywriting, and so forth. He was in my class. He was one of my students. He was one of my turtles, one of my first turtles, right? And that was kind of the beginning, right, of me and AK-40 Devin, right? And then after that, I remember, we kept talking, whatever, and he asked me one day, I think it was on Instagram or Messenger, or whatever. He's like, "Yo, Veg, I want to buy a camera. Should I do it?" Absolutely. Do it now. Do it now, and I'll teach you everything I can, right? Buys the camera, and I start teaching him the traits of being a camera operator, as much as I know, once again, I thank God this wasn't around 2017 because I knew nothing. And yo, Veg, how do you the shutter speed? I don't know nothing. All I do is take this camera up and I press record. I click the shutter, the joint to take pictures, and that's it. But then I had the knowledge to do so. So perfect timing, right? So I teach him everything I know about the camera world, and I'm blessed to do that, And then another question, yo, Veg, should I buy this drone? Absolutely. I don't know nothing about drones, but you should still get it and then just learn it, right? And we just became this dynamic duo, like Sonic and Tails, and Devin is my brother. I look at him as a little brother. Like, he's so ambitious. I taught him as much as I can. The best thing I taught him is just stay hungry. Stay hungry and do everything you can to get the job done. Respect people, you know what I'm saying? Learn the business, you know what I'm saying? And just have fun while you're doing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always be here to help you. Like, I'm his right hand. And like he's mine. Like, every time he has an idea, like we were on our way here, I told you, like, every time he has an idea, he calls me first. Yo, Veg, I want to do this. What do you think? And I'm not one to yes man nobody. I'm not no yes man. You know what I'm saying? That's what he loves. Like, I'll tell him something he doesn't want to hear. That's why he keeps coming to me, too. Stop being yes men to your peoples, yo. That is a violation if they need to hear if something doesn't sound right, look right, or it's not right. But, Devin, that's my brother. Anything he needs, he call me, bro. I'm there, drop of the dime. Like, yo, what's up? What we doing? And, we riding. You know what I mean?
How was it like then, watching how you describe as your turtle grow into the person he is today, and also helping him with the sets. Because the first time I got to experience you guys doing your thing was when we were shooting the interview for the soccer player, who I'm
Yes.
not sure if we could name. But,
So we won't say his name.
We won't say it out, but it was the first time we were doing that. How does that feel as like a mentor and as a big brother?
First of all, I have to say you did a great job, brother. You do this interview, you do this hosting, this hosting groove so well. I gotta give you flowers on that. You know what I'm saying? So respectfully,
thank you.
Beyond this, keep going, bro. You said 4 years you've been doing this?
Yeah, 4 years.
I wish you another 10 plus, and beyond that. But when it comes to, I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question was, how does it feel seeing?
Oh, you see him grow. Yeah. From once again, I'm his day one, so I could, like, seeing him now. It's crazy because he's growing up, man. Sunday we did it. Sunday we did a wedding. I saw him wearing a suit. I pulled him to the side, like, yo, bro, you look good, bro. He's like, word? Like, bro, you gotta dress up more, man. Cause at a time, at a time, I think one of my boys was telling him, like, yo, you should dress up more, blah, blah. And, he's young. So he's like, nah, I'm gonna dress how I wanna dress. I'm gonna dress jeans, right? But when I saw him Sunday, we did the wedding. Shout out to our boy Anthony, who helped us, assist us, Jericho, respect the shooter, photographers and videographers. But when I saw him in a suit, at the end of the night when we were going over footage and backing up footage, I put him on the side, like, bro, like, you look really good, bro. Like, I want to see you more in suits. He had a tie on. My boy was styling, yo. I'm like, yo. Yeah, as a mentor, you got to do that. You got to subconscious, like, yo, bro, like, you want to do this more. Like, this is good. You know what I'm saying? He grew up, and I'm glad I was there to help guide him. And he obviously, I'm sure he's had his trials and tribulations, but, I'm not sure what he said on his podcast, but the dude traveled around the world. He's done so much things, found so many dope people, you know what I'm saying? And now he's just a beast, bro. Like when I talk to him about these shoots and like, all right, we got to do this, Veg, and we got to make sure we use this type of camera, this type of lens, and, the coloring got to be this, and, that, like he is, like, I created a monster in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, bro. Like, I'm truly his day one, and I'm just blessed to be one of those cats that have guided him to success, and we'll keep guiding him to success,
Talk to me about Veg today. What does the future look like for you? What are you most passionate about now? And what are the goals that you have in store?
Veg today, I just actually started doing interviews for an outlet coming out of Harlem called Young Atlas. So shout out to Young Atlas. Shout out to my man Kai. It's a Harlem thing, his voice. So I'm doing that. I've been working with them since forever. But I just started doing interviews. I started stepping in front of the camera for his outlets. So shout out to Kai, Young Atlas. I appreciate you. I love you, my brother. Thank you for that opportunity. That's another thing too. We gotta get back to telling people that we love them and showing that. We're in a crazy situation. We're in a crazy world nowadays. Gotta show love, and we gotta tell them, brother, I love you. Sister, I love you. But I love you, brother.
I agree. I love you too.
There you go. Veg today though, right? I'm doing that. Still freelancing. You call me, ready to go. It'd be great if you had the budget. But if you don't have a budget and the idea is dope and I like it, we riding. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm just in the groove of just creating. I wanna help people chase their dreams. I wanna help people do their thing. I'm gonna keep on pushing Devin. I'm really overseeing him and make sure he's doing his thing and making the right decisions and choices for his career. I told you off camera, whenever you need help, bro, I'm there, bro. Call me as long as I'm available. There doesn't have to be a budget. It'd be great if there was a budget, but if there's not even a budget, bro, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I guess maybe more collaborations, us doing the Man Minds. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. But that one, you and me are teaming up. So we're combining each other's energies, us different styles of hosting, you know what I'm saying? And then the most important thing is you are experiencing Mad Minds like no way before. I told you, I remember the night at FOMA when you interviewed me and you like, yo, Reg, I don't know how you do it. I got bombarded by 10 million artists. They want to do interviews. They ruthless. They want to be seen. And bro, how do you do it, bro? I don't get no breaks. And literally, light bulb. At the end of the night, I'm like, yo, the next couple days, I'm like, yo, bro, let me help you. Let me help team up with you, bro. Because I deal with the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do events myself. I set up the tripod and camera, and I just go. No breaks, no nothing, you know? Maybe water bottle on the side, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like I'm glad I could help you, bro. You know, check on you, like, yo, you want some water? You good? No, I'm good. Let's get a couple. I got, you know what I mean? And you do the same thing for me, right? Like that's what we're supposed to do as brothers in this game of hosting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool. Us teaming up, doing the Man Minds joint.
And let me butt in here for real quick.
Go.
I appreciate it too, and it's definitely funny enough. It's not necessarily out of my comfort zone, but it's like I didn't know how it was gonna be.
It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
know either because my biggest fear with it would just be like would just be like people coming in like, yo, I want to speak to AO Chill. It's like, yo, who's this motherfucker? And I'm like, yo, you don't understand, bro. This is Big Vegg, bro.
Right.
This is the man.
And listen, and if it was like that, it's cool. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, once again, I don't mind being the Indian. I don't mind, like people want to be the chief. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be on camera. Like, if someone was really to say that, and it's cool with me, like, bro, you have created, and this is, and I'm in your house, Jersey, so I expected that, and that's cool with me. Yo, I want to talk to AO Chill. Cool, sign up right there, and I'll make sure you talk to him. He's interviewing somebody, but you in line. You know what I mean? But like, and I'm cool with that.
And you know what's mad funny? There's I love how you start off your podcast because they're so different from mine.
Yeah.
And
listen.
And it's like listen. And you're like, all right, you listening to Chill Pod? All right, check. All right, and you're checking yourself like live on the camera. I'm like, this is great, bro.
Yeah.
And
it's the energy, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's mad funny too.
Setting the tone.
There's some people there where it's like me when I tell people speaking to the mic, whether they're speaking in or not, like I kind of just like roll with it because I'm like. I'm like at a certain point I get too lazy where I'm just like,
well, you told me.
Yeah, I told you I was like, make sure they speak into the mic,
and that's what you told me. So bro, I take this craft seriously, bro. This is your podcast, so it's like I want to make sure that I'm doing what you're asking me to do. And then it's our first time hosting, so I'm on some first impression shit. So I want to make sure yo, Vest, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. I got look in the back of my mind, bro.
No, it was great. It was great because like there's some times where like maybe I'm on like my 20th interview or something like that.
Right.
And then like this guy comes in and then he's just like
he's mad far away. So they're like, yo.
I've been doing this for like so long. And I'm just there like I'm like, dude, you're on a podcast, right? I told you in the beginning to speak clearly into the mic, close to the mic, and you're not doing it. I was like, if it sounds like crap, that's not my problem. So I'm literally just chilling there. I'm like, all right, I guess this is not going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be like a minute and a half.
2 minutes.
I was like, whatever. I'm going to ask you one question and you're out.
And then get out of here,
But it's
bro.
not funny because when you do it, it's like, yo, you've seen a mic before, right? I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro?
Talking to that mic, bro. I want to make sure you're heard. Yeah. But that's what it is, bro. Like, I got to make sure, man. You asked me to do that, bro, and I take that very serious.
Yeah, dude.
You know, this is your platform, bro.
You did a fantastic job, though. I really enjoyed it. I just
respect you. I respect your platform. You tell me things to do. I'm one to follow suit, bro. And I got you, so that's what I did. But yeah, but other than that, man, I'm just out here grinding, making sure Devin is good, make sure I'm good. Oh my bad. Make sure I'm good. Make sure Devin's good. You know what I'm saying. Young Atlas, that's the platform I'm working with right now. You know what I'm saying. I'm riding, bro, and I'm still hungry. You know what I mean. I'm still hungry, bro.
We're coming pretty close to the end of the podcast. I wanted to save some of these questions for the end of the podcast because I didn't want people just to come here just because you've talked to some dope ass people. But I have to ask.
Go.
Who were some of your favorite interviews?
Let's see. Off the top, right? I'm gonna just throw names, right?
Off the top.
Rakim.
Why? Off the top, you could say, and then
yes.
Give a
Why?
short
No. I'm going to elaborate. Yes, Rakim is a very special one. I mean, Rakim. First off, he was getting honored at an award show, rightfully so. You know, one of the pillars of pushing the culture forward into the golden era with flow and just lyricism. You know, he's just a dope MC. I mean, if Rakim's not in your top list, then I don't know. Anyway, so he's getting honored at an award show. And my executive producer was like, "Yo, Rakim, can we get an interview?" Like, Rakim's so cool. He's like, "Yeah, no doubt, bro. You know what I mean? Just let me know when you're ready." So we do the interview. No, we're about to do the interview, right? Ready to go. And Rakim is one of my heroes in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big hip hop head, so Eric B and Rakim paid in full. I had mad questions, bro. He was coming out at the time. He was coming out with a book, Sweat the Technique, all that. Right? I had mad questions for him, right? My executive producer says action. I go blank. Oof. Forgot all my questions. Oof. Forgot all my questions, bro. Because if you guys know my style of doing hosting, I don't write my questions down. Usually I study my guest and I set a certain amount of questions in my mind based off of their bio, based off of what they do. Like you study your guests. I study my guests, but I just don't write down my questions. All these questions up in here, right? So I had mad questions for Rakim. Executive producer says, action. I go blank. So I had to Hove the interview. If you guys don't know, Hove is he freestyles all of his songs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Had to freestyle that interview. It came out okay. Everybody's like, "Yo, Vegg, you killed it." But personally, I think I could have did it better. Obviously, if I knew the questions.
I know the feeling.
Bro,
I know the feeling, dude.
Bro, I had so many questions, bro. Rakim, you know what I'm saying? But Rakim. So shout out to Rakim, and shout out to Rakim for giving us his time. I mean, he's a legend, bro, and he gave me 3-4 minutes. I could say I talked to Rakim for 3-4 minutes on camera, bro. Like, that footage is not going anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Rakim, let's see, my dopest interviews. Charlamagne the God. I think that was cool.
How was it interviewing him? I just want to elaborate a little bit on him.
Yes.
Because was he a little inebriated?
Listen. I must. Once again, it was at the same show. He was getting honored. Him and the Breakfast Club was getting honored. Shout out to Angela Yee, GJ Envy. Respect. They pushed the culture forward as far as media as well. So shout out to them. That's also one thing I always give flowers when necessary. Right? It's just, so you can smell them. Right? You know what I mean? Back to your question. Right? Charlamagne the God. At the time, he was known to be very blunt and come off very jerkish. Right? If you talk to him. Right? Must have been a good time for me because when I talked to him, he was mad cool.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was just down to earth and he was just happy. Probably because he was getting honored. So it was a good time. Yeah. It wasn't like I was on the street like, "Yo, Charlamagne, can I talk to you?" Like, no, like, him and the Breakfast Club was getting honored. So thanks to the GOD. Perfect timing. But yeah, he was cool. I didn't want to take up much of his time because I didn't want anything to go left. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good timing. So shout out to Charlamagne the God, shout out to the whole Breakfast Club. Big shout out to Jess Hilarious. She's the new host for the Breakfast Club. So congratulations to her. I think she's pregnant too. So shout out to her. She's just about to have a baby. Not about to have a baby, but congratulations to her. Ja Rule. I actually interviewed him twice, but I only posted one interview because the first one was kind of rushed. But the second time I actually had a chance to really talk to him. Ja Rule. Another legend in hip hop, coming out of Queens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you talk early 2000s, who ran the game for like 4 or 5 years and beyond, like you have to put in Ja Rule, like, Murder Inc., Irv Gotti, like that whole run, like, Ja Rule was mad cool, like, and I had a chance to talk to him about what he's doing for legends with his whole icons, his whole icon platform that he created to celebrate legends and their albums and whatnot. So I think that was cool. Shout out to Ja Rule. Sisqo. If you guys know, if I'm talking to anybody that doesn't know, that's not familiar with Sisqo, the Thong Song, Drew Hill, these are legendary people. And Sisqo was so cool, man. When I talked to him, first he complimented me on my energy. He's like, I like your energy. I'm like, yo, I gotta make sure that they watch. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good feeling. Like, this is an R&B legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we talked off camera about you doing silver hair. He did that in the early 2000s. So he did it, like, he got a fade, and his thing was the silver hair. That was his thing, right? But, that just wasn't his gimmick. He was like, he was a singer, not a singer, a singer. He sang. So I got a chance to talk to him. That was just cool. That was cool. bro, I don't want to keep going, bro. You know, I
you
mean,
could give me like two more.
Two more. Okay, two more. Two more good ones, right? Two more.
Do you have a favorite memory that happened? Maybe it was a mess up or a flub up or something cool that someone said off camera or anything like that you could think of. Because I feel sometimes as a host, even us, like I was almost very close to when we were driving over here, just turning the camera on and getting what we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I realized that like I can't help it. The best conversations always happens when the camera's off.
Yes, it does.
It always happens when the camera's off.
And you're like, damn, yo, we should have recorded this.
Yeah.
To answer your question, well, this kind of happened on camera. Right before me and Sisqo started, and my executive producer happened just to hit record, but he was still like focusing in. But we had a quick minute where we were like, "Yo, bro, I told you you're a legend. I appreciate you, bro. It's the fedora for me, yo." It's like he laughed. I made him laugh, bro. That was so cool. Like just little things like that. Like first of all, I'm setting the tone that okay, Sisqo's thinking like, okay, this guy's cool. I fuck with this guy. Like, all right, we're going to have a good interview. Like, already off the bat, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just one thing that happened. But if I'm going to keep on going, man, you said two more, right? Okay. Two more. Ed Lover of formerly of Yo MTV Raps. Okay, I got the next one. So Ed Lover, I want to end it on a high note, right? Ed Lover, I mean, If you think Ed Lover, you think VJ, host, you know what I'm saying? He helped push the culture of media. You know, coming from Uncle Ralph McDonald's from Video Music Box to now Yo MTV Raps pushing the culture forward. We're going up. We're still going up as far as media, right? Bro, that was another dope moment, bro. Like, you know, shout out to LL Cool J, Rock the Bells. I mean, like I said, doing his first festival was just, bro, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I missed most of the show, but I got a lot of good interviews, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like what you do at Mad Minds, right? Yeah, and they keep coming and coming and coming, right? So Ed Lover, right? Last one. We're gonna end on a high note, right? Uncle Ralph McDonald's. I know I just stated him, but you have to understand, like this is the man. He's the godfather of what we're doing right now. Like I have to say him. Respect to everybody else I interview, but I have to end it on him. Okay, Ralph McDonald's, and he co-signed me. He co-signed me. So it's like that was just so dope. I got a chance to sit down with him and just talk to him about his story, and I did my research. So that also impressed him. Like, oh, okay, this kid knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like I got the co-sign from like the godfather of this whole thing. So no one can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? So I would have to end it with him, and you know, like shout out to everybody I had a chance to talk to. I appreciate everybody that gave me that time. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to. You could have said no, and you know, and I had people tell me no, but it's fine. But it's just, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I truly love this. I love doing this. Like you love getting the story. Like you love the interaction, the interview. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, even the editing, like piecing it together. Like, bro, this is beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing.
We're almost at the end of the podcast.
You said that before.
I know. But then we moved around. I
know. I do that too, bro. Yo, we about to reach the end and then like something else happens.
We have one more shot to take and then it's over.
Okay.
So we'll see you there.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
All right, Veg.
Yo.
We're here at the end of the podcast.
The end of the podcast, man.
Shout out Good Roots.
Good Roots, man. Those are my peoples, man. I had to bring you here, man. Shout out to my boy Jay, man, Vanita, man. You got a great spot for people to come through and get dope drinks, dope smoothies. Do you like smoothie?
Yeah, no, it was delicious.
It was delicious. Yeah. Something serious, bro.
So,
I'm tell you, man.
I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Before we end out the podcast.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
What advice, this is a question I've asked you before, but I need you to reach deep down into your heart. Just give it all to me right now. What would you say to someone very young, very ambitious,
right,
who's trying to get into exactly what you've done,
Right.
who sees you as an inspiration, such as myself,
Right.
what advice would you give that person to go ahead and do what you do?
Nowadays, man, just jump in. The technology is there. You know, back in my day, I'm not trying to sound like an old head, but back in my day, I really had to try to make it work. Had to connect wires. Like I said, I had to get on my Doc Brown scientist groove. You know what I'm saying? And had to really try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? I made it work, obviously, because I was ambitious. You know, jump in. Just go for it. You know, if you don't understand something, YouTube it. YouTube University. You know what I'm saying? Be hungry. You gotta want it. You gotta want it more than anybody. Like, you know, you're gonna get doors that close on you. You're gonna get 1,000 no's. You're gonna get 1,000. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna work. Friends and family aren't gonna support you, or aren't gonna be first to support you like first to support you like they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get support from strangers quicker than those close to you. Don't let that discourage you. Just let them jump on the bandwagon. Let them jump on the bandwagon when it's time. You know what I'm saying? And just be ready. You know, be ready to face hurdles, struggles. Like I said earlier, there is no success without struggle. You're supposed to struggle and then get out of that situation and become more stronger and level up. Every time you're supposed to level up, struggle happens. So be ready for that, and be ready for the level up too, because that's another level you got to experience. You know what I'm saying? We leveling up. Be ready for that. Be ready to evolve. Other than that, man, just have fun, man. Have fun doing. Love what you do. Because if you don't love what you do, it's gonna be like you're gonna want to quit the next day, or you're gonna quit when struggle comes. Love what you do. If you love what you do, no matter what happens, you're gonna grind for, you know, the finish line. Other than that, man, make sure you follow me, man. Big Veg, BIGVGG. You know, you could Google me. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, so you put that in, something's gonna come up under me. Make sure you follow Young Atlas, spelled Grammarly correct. That's the platform I'm representing. Make sure you follow AK40 Devin and Sound Sick Productions. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. That's my dog for life. Devin, I love you. Anytime you need me, bro, I got you. And make sure you follow this program, this platform. Ayo, chill, Beto. Like I said, bro, I got you. Anytime you need me, bro. You want me to hold something, a pole. You want me to hold a camera. You want me to hold the microphone, bro. I'm here, bro. And obviously I know this is gonna come out after, but I can't wait to co-host with you again for Mad Minds coming up and beyond. You know, and it's gonna be dope, bro. We have, you know, this year just started, so I know that we're gonna do a lot together. We're gonna be really collaborating and just making things happen, bro. So I'm blessed to be in this position to not only love what I do, but to love working with people that I respect and you know, and love to work with. You know what I'm saying? So much respect to you and what you got going on, brother. Ladies and gentlemen.
Big Veg. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm so glad this has finally happened.
Bro.
Absolute pleasure and absolute honor.
Yeah, man.
You're a legend. You know, I respect the hell out of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you basically already told the people where they can find you and everything. So I guess we don't need to go over that. So I guess we'll.
My bad, bro.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, man.
AO Chill Podcast, YouTube,
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
TikTok, wherever you find your podcast, wherever you watch your podcasts, you'll find AO Chill.
2 O's.
2 O's, don't forget. 2 O's.
I'm gonna remind you all the time.
Double
bro.
O.
That's right.
Don't forget.
That's right.
And yeah, thank you so much for being on, dude.
Bro.
Slash goodbye to the camera.
Absolutely. And please, make sure you go to Good Roots, man. The dopest smoothies, the dopest, yo. These are my peoples, man. Make sure you support them.
I co-sign. 100% co-sign. They're amazing, delicious.
Something serious?
It's something serious. I didn't say that.
We ended on that note. There you go.
All right, yo.
Yeah.
Dude.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, that's a pod, bro.
That's a wrap?
Yeah, that's a wrap.
That's a